hall of the alien capital rose like a dark colossus over the rocky plains. Its towers reached toward the silent sky, wrapped in banners stitched with symbols of conquest. Inside that fortress, the alien queen held court, sitting high on a throne carved from crystal and metal. She was known across sectors as a ruler who believed her empire stood unmatched. Her voice carried the weight of empires. Her will shaped the paths of worlds. She had seen armies from distant realms, giant beasts from frozen moons, and machines built to tear through ships. To her, humans were simple wanderers who had survived by luck more than strength. That day she expected a small delegation from the human frontier. Reports said they wished to discuss a border conflict. She laughed at the idea. Her advisors gathered around her throne and assured her there was no danger in meeting them. The queen enjoyed the idea of toying with new creatures. She imagined them trembling under the weight of her presence. The court doors opened with a slow grind. The queen straightened as a group of human warriors entered the hall. Their suits were light and worn, showing they had traveled far, yet each step carried a quiet force. At their front walked a commander named Rowan. He had the calm of someone who had seen storms and refused to bend to them. His posture told the queen he would not kneel, not even in the presence of a throne that had made greater beings bow. The queen let out a cold laugh. Her voice spread across the hall. She mocked their armor. She mocked their size. She mocked the idea that they had come to negotiate instead of surrender. The court echoed with her amusement. Her guards smirked. The queen waved a hand as if shooing a flock of harmless birds. Rowan did not flinch. His team remained steady behind him. They showed no anger, only patience. This unsettled the queen more than she expected. Humans were supposed to react with fear or overconfidence. These ones offered neither. They looked at her as if they were measuring something she could not name. The queen rose from her throne and stepped down the long stairway that separated her from the visitors. Her armor shifted with each step, gleaming with colors that flowed. Like liquid, she approached until she stood close enough to see the reflection of Rowan's eyes in her own gaze. She told him that humans were weak. She told him her empire had crushed civilizations far stronger. She told him she doubted there was anything his people could show her that would earn respect. Rowan listened. He breathed slow. When she finished, he gave a single nod. His voice stayed steady. He told her they had not come to fight. They had come because a colony near her border had been taken by her soldiers. They sought a way to avoid conflict. He made it clear, however, that humans did not bend to threats. If harmed, they would defend their own. The queen laughed again. She expected his voice to crack when challenged. It did not. Instead, it carried a tone that felt like iron beneath silk dot. She lifted one hand and signaled for a demonstration. Guards marched forward, carrying a block of reinforced alloy, one used for shielding warships. The queen ordered her strongest warrior to strike it. The warrior brought down a massive hammer, denting the surface. The court clapped. The queen turned back to the humans with a smile that served as a challenge. She asked Rowan what humans could do. Rowan stepped aside and nodded to one of his companions, a young fighter named Leo. Leo took a deep breath and walked toward the block. He placed both hands on the metal and closed his eyes. For a moment, nothing happened. The queen smirked. The court whispered about human weakness. Then the alloy shattered. The block cracked down the center and split apart. The fracture lines glowed. With faint heat, the noise echoed through the hall. The queen's smile vanished. The guards stepped forward, unsure whether to attack or retreat. Leo stepped back beside Rowan, as if nothing extraordinary had occurred. The queen narrowed her gaze. She demanded to know how such a feat was possible. Rowan answered that humans had learned to adapt. They had crossed worlds that tried to break them. They had built tools that seemed small but carried deep strength. They had survived disasters that would have crushed larger species. Their power did not always show until needed. The queen felt a sharp sting of pride turning uneasy. She tried to mask it. She claimed the metal was flawed. She ordered another test. This time she summoned one of her heavy machines, a drone unit built for battlefield clearing. The machine rolled forward, its core glowing as it powered its internal systems. It released a blast at a pillar near the wall. The impact left a deep burn. The queen gestured at the humans. Rowan spoke to his team. Another warrior named Taro stepped forward. He carried no weapons. The drone aimed at him. The queen leaned forward, expecting the human to dodge and fail. The drone fired a pulse of energy. Taro raised one hand. The blast hit a shield device. On his wrist, the barrier flared. The energy dissolved into harmless sparks. It fell around him like dust. The machine tried again. Taro adjusted the shield setting and absorbed the hit. The device sparked but held firm. When he lowered his arm, the drone powered down in confusion. Unable to resolve what it had failed to break, the queen's jaw tightened. For the first time she realized the humans were not only confident, they were prepared. She walked slowly back toward them. Every step felt heavier. She circled Rowan and his team. She studied their armor, their breathing, their calm. She noticed small details she had dismissed before. Fine wires along their suits, suggesting adaptive support systems. Small scars on their gloves, showing long years of training. A kind of unity in their stances that came only through shared hardship. The queen demanded to know how many warriors like them existed. Rowan answered that they were only a sample. Many humans had similar training. Their species had a long history of clawing its way through danger. Their strength came not only from tools, but from will. When humans decided to stand, they stood as if the ground under them belonged to them alone. The queen felt something she had not felt in years. She felt warned. She felt a quiet tremor behind the words of the commander. She felt the truth in the calm of the team. Her advisors approached, but she waved them away. She needed time to process what she had seen. She asked Rowan why they had not used such strength to strike back earlier. Rowan answered that humans preferred peace first. It was only when pushed too far that their deeper power emerged. The queen looked into his eyes and sensed no deception. Humans valued peace, but never surrendered their right to survive. She asked Rowan what he wanted from her. He told her they wanted the colony returned. They wanted no war. They wanted stability. But he made it clear that if forced, humans would defend their worlds until the last person stood. It was not a threat spoken with arrogance. It was a promise, spoken from experience. The queen paced. She remembered all the species she had conquered. None had looked at her with such quiet certainty. None had shown power disguised beneath humility. Humans did not shine like the warriors of her empire. They did not roar like the beasts of her hunting moons. They did not boast like the rulers she had shattered. They were simple, steady, relentless. The queen returned to her throne. She did not sit. She placed one hand on its arm and stared at the humans. She repeated the words she had spoken earlier when mocking them. She had questioned their strength. She had dismissed their presence. She had treated their arrival as entertainment. Now she saw them for what they were. She apologized in her own way, not with softness, but with respect. She admitted she had misjudged their species. She admitted she had believed the stories that humans were weak wanderers. She admitted she had failed to understand the depth of their endurance. Rowan bowed his head slightly. The queen raised a hand. She told him there was no need. He had earned her respect. She declared her soldiers would evacuate the colony. She vowed that her empire would not provoke the humans again without cause. The court remained silent. Every advisor felt the shift. The queen had never given such respect to a visiting group from a lesser-known species. She had never allowed another ruler to sway her decisions through words alone. Yet here she stood, acknowledging the strength of those she had mocked. Rowan thanked her. His voice stayed calm. His team moved back toward the entrance. The queen watched them go. Before they left the hall, she called out to them one last time. Her voice was no longer mocking. It carried a new tone. She told Rowan that strength was not measured by size or noise. It was measured by what a species held inside. She told him she had felt the power of humanity, not in their blows, but in their resolve. She told him they had reminded her that the galaxy was far larger than her empire. She ended by saying she would remember this meeting for as long as she ruled. The humans stepped out into the bright plains. Their ship waited for them on a landing pad made of dark stone. Rowan looked back at the towering hall. He did not smile. He simply breathed with relief. Conflict had been avoided. His team had succeeded not through force, but through proof of what humanity could become. Inside the hall, the queen returned to her throne. She sat for a long time in silence. She thought about what the humans had shown her. She thought about their quiet unity. She thought about the way their strength did not need to be flaunted. She thought about her own empire and how easily pride had blinded her. For the first time in many years, she felt something like growth. She realized that ruling meant more than conquering.